From time to time, I browse the Steam store to see what games have just been released with Oculus support. This week I came across indie title Disillusions Manga Horror for the princely sum of 99¢. I decided to check it out as I'm a fan of Japanese anime and the characters shown in the trailer looked interesting. The game is set around two main characters, Dis and Vigil, who are friends who visit the haunted residence the newspapers have been covering recently. Unbeknownst to them, the place is not as abandoned as the press makes out, and the echoes of the psychotic murderer who once called the place home are scattered everywhere. The storyline is suitably dark and has a lot of promise, and I especially like the use of mannequins as sinister entities in much the same way as 1979 movie Tourist Trap uses them. However, the cheap jump scares wear thin very fast and become extremely predictable.
それは幽霊だ.
One thing that is evident as soon as you boot up the game in Rift mode is that none of the title screens or option screens are rendered for VR. You have to close one eye to navigate through the options and find the start button for each of the 3 chapters. It's not a hugely difficult task as all the options are quite big, but it really should be fixed if you're selling your game on Steam. Once you navigate the title screens, you are thrown into an extremely dark outdoor environment where you stumble around finding clues that are indicated by question marks. As you approach them, you will hear a bell ring and a text box will appear with your character explaining part of the backstory or giving you hints on what to do next. This is in essence the extent of Disillusions gameplay and is more akin to a point-and-click adventure with some jump scares rather than an interactive game. The background sound is that of a screaming banshee or the wind howling and rarely changes, which will grate on you after a while. Graphically, the game uses lots of free stock Unity models and it really shows in the final product. Also, when wearing the Rift, all low resolution textures are very noticeable and you will frequently see large blocky graphics that look like PS1 generation graphics. Also, I'm quite a seasoned VR user now and haven't experienced any sim sickness in well over a year, but Disillusions had a strange effect on me after about 20 minutes of gameplay. I think this was really due to how your movement controls work. You use the standard WASD keys for movement and your mouse is used to spin you around, but for some unknown reason, as you spin using the mouse, your view of the world gets ever so slightly tilted, and this caused me to get a headache. It didn't feel like a normal headache either, as my view of the VR world was tilted, but I was sitting perfectly straight in my chair. This caused some type of confusion in my subconscious and was really unsettling, but I could see this trick being used to better effect in other horror games in the future, if being used in some short sections, as it is subtle but noticeable after some time. Also, from time to time, camera control is taken over by the computer and your viewpoint is pulled towards an item of interest or a jump scare, which certainly doesn't help with sim sickness. Disillusions is 3 chapters long and each chapter lasts about 10 minutes. I did not get to finish the last chapter as I got lost in the wilderness and the tilted view started to really get to me, but it's certainly an interesting storyline that I would like to see developed into a polished game. Overall, Disillusions as a VR game is not pretty. It's hard to control and will make you feel ill, but it's certainly a game we will remember as spooky mannequins terrorise our dreams for some time to come. It's currently on sale for 99¢ on Steam, but beware, it's at this price for a reason.